Hey guys, and welcome to D6 Evolution. I'm Andy and this is Wes.
Hey, how you doing?
And it's time for new Custodes.
Oh my god! So we got a new surprise on Friday afternoon. Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, and coming from two quite big Custodes players here, we've got quite a lot of Forgeworld stuff, and Forgeworld have just updated all of their beta rules, and they are no longer beta.
Yes, what does that mean?
That means I don't get grief for playing my my Custodes stuff in tournaments.
Well, you're probably not going to play the stuff you used to play before.
I know. Right, so let's dive straight into it then, shall we?
So I think the most exciting thing, we've got a new model. The Ares Gunship. That's really cool.
Yeah. So guys, what we're going to do here is we're going to put a link to the beta codex, well, the non-beta codex in the video description, but the Ares dropship is, as a Deathwatch player, it makes me cry.
Yes, I quite like the special ability it's got there.
Yeah. So do you want to quickly read off what its stats are, in case anyone's not seen it yet? And then we're going to talk about the crazy bomb.
Okay, so the Ares, it's weapon skill 6, so you don't want to get this thing into combat. But it's ballistic skill 2, starting off and going down 3, and then 4 as it goes down the brackets. Strength 8, toughness 8, 22 wounds, and it's a leadership 9, which doesn't make much of a difference, but a 3-up armor save.
Yeah, so it's basically the same stats as the Orion. It's got the updated blaze cannons, isn't it?
Well, yeah, yeah, blaze cannons have been updated. So the new stat now for the heavy blaze cannons. So they've got an extra 12-inch range, which is great. So it's now a 48 or a 36-inch range. It's now heavy 1, strength 9, -4. And rather than being a flat 3 damage, it's now D3 plus 3. That's a nice change.
I like
that extra 12 inches and getting that extra D3 damage per shot's nice. Where it has gone down a little bit, it's increased on the burst mode to 36 inches, but rather than being 6 shots, it's now 4 shots. But no other stat changes there. I still like it. I will take that extra D3 damage on that beam version of that any day.
Yeah, because you are realistically not using the other version anyway, are you?
No, not for this one. And then it's got a new weapon, which is the Arcanus Mega Blaze Cannon. Mega. It's got a 72-inch range if you use it in beam mode. It's heavy D3, which disappoints me a little bit.
I hate randomness. For what its main cannon, it's going to vary.
Yeah, there's a lot of variance in this one.
I know.
It's strength 14.
Which is a miss in my opinion. You want strength 16.
Yeah.
14's just...
It's medium to light tanks, really, isn't it, that you're really going to be hitting with this one. And it's -4, and it's D3 plus 6 damage.
That's nice.
That's very nice, isn't it?
But the amusing thing about this is the Mega Ultimate Blaze Cannon is actually harder to wound knights with because it doesn't re-roll its wounds compared to the Heavy Blaze Cannon.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a shame, that. So this is the only of the Blaze Cannons that doesn't get to re-roll against vehicles.
Yeah.
I think I might email Forgeworld.
Okay. You know your Mega Ultimate Weapon.
Yeah.
Turns out it's not very good versus armor.
Yeah, so change that, and I think actually it'll be nice.
Yeah.
It will be nice. It's got all the standard abilities: Airborne, Supersonic, Eclipse Shield, which is a 5+ invulnerable save, Power of the Machine Spirit, so it's hitting on its regular ballistic skill, hard to hit and explodes. But the really nice thing that Andy was alluded to earlier is the Infernus Firebomb.
Yeah.
This is really nice. So if any of you have faced things like the Raven Wing, so not Raven Wing, Void Raven Bomber.
Yeah, or the Raven Wing. Raven Wing does it as well.
No, it doesn't. This is a bomb.
Yeah, Dark Talons are bombs.
Oh, sorry, a Raven Wing, yes.
Yeah, Wes even played Dark Angels
Yes.
at one point before he ran off to be a Xenos player.
It's been a long day. We've been drinking lots of non-alcoholic beer. It's been great. I'm feeling a bit tired right now. But this guy flies over the top and it drops a bomb, and it can be used twice per game, but once per battle round. And it's a dice for every dude in the unit.
Yeah.
And on a 4-up, they suffer a mortal wound, up to a maximum of 20 dice.
I'm glad they showed some restraint at 20.
That is one hell of a bomb right there.
We were doing some thoughts. It's like, what things with actually a decent invulnerable save are actually running around in units of 20? Because things like Deathwatch and Custodes, they're only running in units of 10, so it's only going to be as good as a Dark Talon bomb. But then things like Zangors,
Yes.
like any big demon units, that's going to be a thing. Or even Talos, because this thing rolls 3 dice for every monster or vehicle. So if you've got a unit of 3 Talos, then you're going to roll 9 dice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, see, it took us a while to do that. It shows how we're tired.
It's still that non-holic stuff. I can't even speak now, so yeah, here we go. So yeah, it's actually a really nice power, that.
Yeah.
And the fact you get to use it twice is really good.
And it's not limited to once per army. You know, if you had 3 of these things running around, then, you know, you could drop 3 bombs first turn, 3 bombs second turn.
Yeah, and it's probably worth mentioning now that the old Orion used to be a Lord of War, but actually both the Ares and Orion are now flyers rather than Lord of War.
Yeah.
Which means you can fit them into a normal detachment or fly detachment now, quite nicely.
But you can't hold objectives anymore.
No.
I used to, like, Wes was running into a tournament recently, and it's really nice to see opponents' faces when he does hold objectives with it, because it was just like, you can't do that!
I felt bad. I really did.
It was funny to watch.
Yeah. But anyway, it's been fixed now. It's now a flyer, which
Yeah.
makes a lot more sense.
Really?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the new unit. So what we're going to go over for the rest of this video is what we think are some of the biggest changes. We're not going to go over everything. We're just going to go over what we think are the biggest changes.
Yeah. So it's pretty worth noticing what hasn't really changed. Nothing with the Gravasol carrier, the Cronus, the Palace haven't changed, and the Galatus Dreadnought. We got the shield and sword. I haven't noticed any differences in those at all. But my favourite one, should we talk about that? And that's the Orion dropship. It's gone up by 40 points.
Yep.
Which doesn't make me too happy, but in fairness, it's probably about right, I think.
Yeah, because the way these ships are traditionally used, they're -2 to hit because they sit next to a banner as well, and they're quite obscene, really.
They really are.
It previously was quite short range, wasn't it? With only 36 and I think 24 on its guns have used in advanced mode. So again, when we alluded to earlier with the Ares ship, it actually increased its range. So now, if you wanted to, with both of those, you could sit right at the back of the board.
Yeah.
Be -2 to hit.
Yeah. Yeah, and 36-inch range on their minimum weapons and 48-inch range on others. And actually, the new change to the Arcanus Heavy Blaze Cannon, getting that extra 12 inches and that D3+3 is really nice. So I would happily pay that extra 40 points for those.
You know, it's an expensive unit already. It's not going to make that much difference, is it? I think it's nice. I think that's it's a reasonable change, and it means you can fit them into detachments a lot better because it's not a Lord of War anymore.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's on the whole. I think that's
it's probably a slight win, but it's here. You know, it's not a massive change.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that did change, the Telemon.
Ooh. So there's been a few nerfs in this one, and I think this one's criminal.
Yeah, he got more expensive, and his range and fire ability's got a lot less.
Yeah. I think you're not going to see this one on the table anymore in competitive play. Reason being is people play the Telemon, it sits right at the back of the board, it sits in cover, and I think it previously had a ridiculous range, like 60 or 70 on its main guns. And that was great, because when it moves, it's -1 to hit because it's heavy weapons. It doesn't have power of the machine spirit. So now the guns have gone down to 36. So either people are going to have to deploy that a bit further forwards and risk it being tagged, or just it's going to be out of range, or they're going to have to start moving it for the first turn.
Yeah, so
it
doesn't really fit well with it. I think the points increase and the reduction of that firepower is a big hit to this.
Yeah. And I think just being completely outclassed by Space Marine Dreadnoughts now. I mean, if you look at the Leviathan, I think it's pretty much the same points. I could be wrong because I've not looked it up, but you know, when you look at the Space Marine stratagems they've got and the Ultramarines fall back and shoot and all these things, it's completely outclassed. Yeah. Particularly with the stratagem to take half damage as well. You know, it's just it's not in the same league.
It's a shame. It's a really nice looking model, and it had some really nice rules. I think this was just a little bit too much.
Because it filled a spot of long range firepower, which Custodes were kind of lacking with the main codex. So it's a shame that they had to do the double nerf on it.
Yeah, it is.
So rant over on that.
Rant over. I've still got the model. It's still really lovely, and it's gonna keep some dust off my shelf somewhere. But, okay, so moving on to something else. It's pretty good to be dusting on your shelf, but sitting nicely on mine is the Claydus grav tanks and the changes there.
Ah, yes. They shone very brightly for a few months there, didn't they?
You pretty much saw on most top tables 3 of these running, so
yeah,
probably an indicator they were quite efficiently pointed. and set up.
Yeah. So essentially, the change with them is they've gone from strength 8 down to strength 7, and they've gained, I think it's 10 points, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's about 10 points.
Yeah.
But also another change they've got is that they've gone down to strength 7, but rather than being D3 damage, they're now flat 2.
I like that better.
Which I like. So it's just the reduction in strength, I think, is the biggest thing with this one.
Yeah, so I think the strength 7, strength 8 change is quite big, because that's really going to hurt its ability to kill sort of light and even heavy armour, isn't it?
Yeah.
They weren't particularly good at killing knights in the first place, having run them for quite a lot of tournaments, but yeah. You're not going to see them in all tournaments. What didn't happen is it didn't get a massive nerf. You've still got the -2 to charge them, which is really nice, because that combos really well with the Tanglefoot grenades. They're still going to be able to take out Elder Flyers just as good. They're still going to be able to take out Primaris Marines.
I actually, now looking at these two, I think I prefer 2 Palace over this. Well, we worked out we get 2.5 Palace pretty much for the price of this.
Yeah, the Palace is better because it's strength 7, it's less shots, but you re-roll the wounds.
Yeah.
And I'd take that because that just means your dice are a bit more consistent, doesn't it, generally?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And generally, things spread over more different models tends to do better as well.
Yeah. Just more board presence as well. I found it really useful.
Yeah, and 3 palaces screening out your lines if you need them to against a deep striking army with the -2 to charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good.
I've been running through Palace recently, and I really enjoy them actually over this. I'm not too phased by it too much. One thing to note is again, as noted before, the heavy blaze cannon version of this has got the increased buff now, the D3 +3 damage.
Yeah, it's only 2 shots on something which is nearly 250 points.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd see it.
Although, yeah.
You're not going to see that.
And it's got, in fact, similarly, it's got a reduction in the number of shots that it has in burst mode there. So it used to be 12 before, now it's down to 8.
Yeah, so you're not going to see that.
No, probably not.
Right, so moving on, what should we talk about next?
Ooh. I like the Venatari. So the jump pack guys look really cool. They're probably just a little bit too expensive than previously.
Yeah.
They've now dropped down quite a bit in points. So you may see them a bit more.
Yeah, they're still probably a little bit on the expensive side, but yeah. I was impressed when you played them once against me.
Yeah. So I kept them inside the Orion dropship, and their ability to get that 3 inches, move that 12 inches, and then assault something is quite nice. Yeah, I quite like those guys. So hopefully you get those guys out a bit more coming up soon.
God, let's talk about the troops.
The troops, yes.
You have troops!
So we have
troops!
Forgeworld troops, and I really quite like this. So what they've done is they've taken the Custodian Guard with the Adrosite and Pyrothite spears. I'm not sure if that's exactly how you pronounce it. But essentially, they are now troops. And also the Sagittarian Guard, which are the guys with like the heavy bolter guns with the Idrathic weapon underneath of it. They're now troops as well, which is a really nice change. And actually, especially the Sagittarian Guard, they're 150 points for 3 guys, so 50 points each. And their ability now to sit on objectives and fire things at long range, I quite like that actually.
Yeah. It just gives you a bit more variance to your army rather than having to take 3 squads of spears.
Yeah.
And the spears are good because they get the +1 to wound stratagem in combat, which these guys are not going to get.
Yeah.
But
so I've been running pure Custodes of late, and I've been putting a 3-man squad of spears on objectives, and they pretty much don't do anything apart from the odd shot when somebody comes within 24 inches. But now having these guys who can sit on objective with a 36-inch range, plus the Idrathic weapon there, which is a 15-inch range, actually they can dominate quite a bit of area with that. So I really like these guys. I'm probably going to get a couple of squads, Andy.
Good. You've ordered them already, haven't you?
No, not quite. Had I read this properly earlier, I'd have bought them when I was at Warhammer World today, but I didn't. The Adrosite weapons have changed. So previously, when you rolled a 1, they're the whole gets hot type thing, so they take a mortal wound. That's now gone. So all Idrathic weapons no longer have a gets hot mechanic, which I think is very fitting, really.
Yeah.
That's those guys. Do you want to talk about the... Oh, so the jet bike guys, again, the bonus they've got with that is the Idrathic weapons. They've got... they don't overheat with those ones now.
Yeah, so essentially you've got a jet bike, but it's 120 points.
Yeah.
No, it's 115 points now, isn't it? We've dropped down 5 points.
Yes.
There's still 25 points more over a regular Codex jet bike.
Yeah.
It's not going to cut it.
No.
No, it's crazy. Crazy amount of points for what they are.
Yeah, it's a shame really, because the Adrathic weapons could be quite good, but it's just
Yeah.
a bit too highly pointed. There was something else I want to look at those.
Right. What's next?
So next thing we're going to look at now is the other, I forget the name of it, the other Dreadnought, which is called
The one with the spear.
the Spear Dreadnought. He's now lost a bit of variance now. It's rather than being D3, it's a flat 2, isn't it, for the number of attacks?
So instead of getting exploding 6s, he gets plus D3 attacks.
That's right.
So it works out slightly better.
Yeah, it's a nice buff.
Yeah.
Again, anytime you can remove variance, which is always really handy.
Yeah. So I think they're pretty much the biggest changes, aren't they?
Yeah.
So for a recap, I think more troops, that's good.
Yep.
Slightly cheaper troops, I think, as well.
Yes.
Just by a few points, but again, that may just help with maybe you may see even double
Yeah,
the Custodian battalions.
Ooh, possibly.
Yeah, you never know.
150 by taking this, yeah.
Yeah.
Might look at that actually. I quite like that.
But I think they're the main things. They've definitely lost some long-range fire support, and I think that's really going to hurt the army.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to see the Caladius. You're definitely not going to see the Telemon anymore. No, I think that's really hurt them. I'm undecided about the Ares dropship. I'm really undecided. I like the idea of the bomb.
I think situationally it'd be really good, but I think it's very situational.
The trouble with the bomb is it forces you to move forwards, perhaps into a position you don't want to be with a long-range gunship. So, if you're committing it into a Space Marine line and have got a slam captain there or something else, you're going to lose that just for the sake of getting 6 or 7 mortal wounds on the unit.
But I could see 3 of these flying over several units a turn, wiping out lots of dudes.
I mean, the ability to have multiple units doing huge amounts of mortal wounds in an army is really interesting.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that has that level of mortal wound potential. But
No, it's huge, and that's why in the start of the edition, when there was lots of Dark Talons around, an army of Dark Talons was really good because it had that ability to just put out loads and loads of mortal wounds.
Yeah.
And if you took 3 of these, you could do that even better.
Yeah.
You couldn't really take much else in your army.
No, because I think I worked out at 1,245 points to do that, so that's quite a chunk to do that. So.
And you'd have to take the banner, but then it'll all be -2 to hit.
Yeah.
For at least for a turn.
Yeah. No, I can't really see it. So for me, my favourite things is that I actually quite like the change to the Rhine about actually having that extra firepower, and Sagittarian Guard being able to take them as my troops. I was really excited by the Adrathic ones, but then I realised with the Adrathic Custodians that they don't get to use the +1 to wound stratagem with the spears, which kind of had they had that ability, I would have definitely taken them because they're exactly the same points as regular speared Custodes.
Yeah. So there we have it. Right, guys. So if you liked the video, remember to subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with some. I'll be back with some more tactics videos soon, because I'm shooting those tonight.
Woo!
I know. It's gonna be good. Take care.
See you soon.